Now, Trevor, we want to put some of the big talking points to you ahead of this game. Who's going to come out on top? Look, I know you want City to win.
Yeah.
Guardiola or Tuchel? Who do you think?
Well, I think Guardiola. Again, it's all about the players. I don't think it matters what Thomas Tuchel or what squad team he puts out, starting lineup, what shape, what formation. I just feel Manchester City in pretty much all areas have got their number. And I know we'll talk about the performances and the results of recently, but actually when you look at Chelsea as a side and the game against Arsenal, I thought that was where it come unstuck a little bit. He changed his team, lost that momentum. Next game they went in, they lost in the cup final. Then they went and beat Leicester. Then they lost again to Villa. And I just think they've ended the season on a bit of a low. And for me, City, even though they didn't finish the season brilliantly themselves, they didn't need the points. They were relaxed. They've only had their minds on one thing, and that is the Champions League final.
Well, here's one for you, Trev. You're 30 seconds away from sending your team, City, you're the manager, you're 30 seconds away from opening that dressing room and going, go on, boys. Would you say to them, you get 30 seconds, Trev?
Wow, that's a big one. I think just remember your journey individually. Remember you playing grassroots football. Take it all out there, take your personality and go and showcase what you're all about.
I think you lose 3-0 if you say that, Trev.
Ray? Ray, you're half-time now. No, it's half-time now, Ray. You're in the Chelsea dressing room.
The thing
and
you
after
say,
Trev there, you're 2-0 up. So what did you say at half-time?
Look, I would say, look, you've done it already. You know how to beat Manchester City. We all know they're a great side. Don't have no regrets. Go out there, give it your all. Look, sometimes you hold your hands up. If Man City play to their full ability, they probably are the better team. But they've got they beat them twice already this season. So that's what Tuchel will say to them. Say, look, we know how to beat Manchester City. Let's stick to the game plan. We know exactly what we do. Every single player, if you give 100%, every single player, which they will, it's a Champions League final, then we've got a chance of winning. And that's what I would say. And go out there and perform.
Are you telling your fullbacks?
Do it for yourselves, do it for your families, go for it.
Are you telling your fullbacks to get right up on Foden, get right up on Mahrez, the other
definitely.
side?
Yeah, I think that, they're the two danger men for me. They're the ones who are going to be... you've got to stop the supply, which is very hard because you've got De Bruyne who's going to get on the ball. And that's why I think he'll play two in midfield, two defensive midfielders in Jorginho, Kovacic. They'll be the ones who are trying to break things up in midfield. And then, end of the day, it can be a set play from Chelsea's point of view. You can be a corner. One of the centre-halves comes up, Rudiger or someone like that can score the goal. And Chelsea can get over the line. So I think it's a bit tight, but I do fancy City. But you can't write Chelsea off with... I know they're going into it with no momentum after losing to Villa and Arsenal and obviously FA Cup final. But it's still, on the day, anything can happen in a final.
Yeah, of course.
And
Ray,
we saw. I thought Manchester United were certainties against Villarreal. I really did. I thought they wouldn't need to go to extra time. I thought they'd get the job done in 90 minutes. They didn't do that. They went out on penalties. So that just shows you anything can happen in final.
Trev?
Ray, what does he do? Does he play Azpilicueta further forward or does he play Reece James further forward? Because I think when he plays Reece James further forward, he's got more threat down that right-hand side. But then he feels he may be a bit weaker.
Trevor.
On the right-hand side defensively. So what does he do?
I think I would go defensively more with the
experience. So he plays Reece James right side at the back there rather than Azpilicueta?
I think he'll play Azpilicueta.
I think that just... Well, if he does play Azpilicueta, I think Foden can get at him. And if he plays Reece James right at that right wing-back area, then I feel that they're not going to have that kind of attacking... impetus down that right hand side. So it's kind of, what do you want to go? Do you want to go attacking and put Reece James further forward, or do you want to be more solid and have more pace and power?
You're the manager again. You're about to. What'd you say to Aguero? You're leaving him out, Trev. Come on, what'd you say to him?
Okay, be ready to make a name for yourself because you've already made a massive name. But leave the club as a legend and win this in the last minute.
Well, he's a legend anyway.
But he says, Gaffer, I want to play. I'm playing it. I want to play. What'd you say to him?
I'm bringing you on fresh when they're tired. Go and enjoy yourself.
That's what
Go
I would
and fill
do.
your boots.
I think that if Chelsea chasing a goal or, last 25 minutes, then he's perfect, Aguero, to bring on. Play on a break.
Could he do a Didier Drogba then? Where you go back to 2012?
Yeah.
What a legend.
Amazing
Drogba.
Scenes.
Oof.
But that's kind of a career-defining performance when you can score goals in big games like that. And the celebration, you can see him now sliding on his knee, can't you?
By the way,
Incredible.
Mendy's done all right for Chelsea. I think Edison's fantastic, but Mendy's done all right.
Done very well. Reminds me a lot of a keeper I used to play with, Shaka Hislop. You know, he's the shape of him. He's strong legs. Really one of them figures that you think, it's a 50-50. I don't really fancy it because he'll break me. But he might be injured. We're not sure whether he's going to be fit or not because he hurt himself in the last game. So that'll be an interesting thing to see if Kepa plays, because obviously he's had a bit of an infamous time at Chelsea up till now. That'll be a really big platform for him to showcase what he's got.
Is Sterling won't play in, Trev? He'll be on the bench?
He might surprise us. You know, Pep might just say, you know what? If Aspilicueta's playing there, I fancy you to absolutely tear him up. I might play you down the left.
He could surprise.
He might play Foden a bit deeper. I can't see it, but
no.
Listen, if you're putting your best team out there, I think Foden plays on the left-hand side, just on form.
Ray, one last one before we break. If City win it, does Pep become the greatest?
I still can't look past Sir Alex Ferguson for me.
It's just time, isn't it?
Trev?
I think it's just time, isn't it? I think if he hangs around long enough and continues to win trophies at the rate he's winning them, he's going to be in the same conversation with Sir Alex. But I think it's just a little bit too early for me now. But I think talking about a manager that's redefined English football, you know, you look at when your old manager, Arsene Wenger, came in, the professionalism, the diet, the tiki-taki football, the way that you played. I think that was the last big change of how we played in this country. I think it's changed again, and I think it's down to Pep. You know, he's even down into League Two. You see defenders going between two centre forwards, closing the keeper down and getting the straight ball, or the number 4 going in between, and our teams play out through the back, through the lines. I think that has been such a big change in this country, and I think it's benefiting the country. You look at the players that we're starting to produce now through the academies. You know, I think I read something, a stat. There's more players playing in the Premier League that are available for England than in the last 10 years. So we're starting to bring more players through. Listen, that's not all down to Pep, but I do feel that the way we're developing players now, you're developing players that are technical, physical, and can go in and play anywhere in Europe.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.